Welcome back, Remodelites. Dave with Remodel Media. I'm here with Luca from Imola Group, and we are here in Orlando at you don't get that three-dimensional feel no matter how good the photography is.
It's not the same thing. Unfortunately, the kind of business we are it's a material business, right? Whatever, porcelain, ceramic, stone, it's a material, and you need to feel the material. Even though digitally wise today, there's been a lot of improvement due to the pandemic, a lot of Zoom calls, but being at a trade show and having the opportunity to talk to your customers, see them, even just to say hi and show them the product, feeling of the product, makes a huge difference, especially because due to the newest technologies in porcelain today, in the porcelain world, you definitely need to touch the material because there are a lot of different finishes on top of it. So it's something that you definitely need to feel it.
Yeah, it's definitely a see, touch, and feel kind of a business. Talk to me about some of your products that you're showcasing this year.
Well, for example, if you look around where we are, this is a really successful collection called The Room. It's been something that we launched actually in 2018-19, developed over the years 8 different colors, and this year at Coverings we're launching 5 new colors. So the whole collection is 13 colors. What's interesting about The Room, and generally speaking about our products, is that the market is moving towards bigger sizes. As you can see here, we're displaying slabs, 48 by 103, 24 by 48, 48 by 48. And this collection actually only has these three kind of sizes, both polished and matte. So definitely the trend that we're seeing in the industry for sure is the big slabs, bigger format, 6.5 millimeters thickness, a quarter of an inch. But our company is also moving forward in the outdoor pavers. So besides this room, as you will be able to see in our booth, we definitely have a lot of 2 centimeter pavers. It's something that we feel it's actually, it could be the future also. Pretty big business in the future for the porcelain industry.
So pavers, so we're talking, are we talking like outdoor living spaces, or are we talking?
Correct.
Okay.
2 centimeters, so almost an inch of thickness, 8 by 8, 8 by 12, 24 by 24, 36 by 36, so even bigger formats. Pool decks and so on. So porcelain is getting a lot of attention also for this kind of application, not anymore just for interior design. And we definitely feel that with the technology that we have today, with the capability that we have to replicate really great finishes and real stones, as you can see around you on top of porcelain, even the paver business for sure is something that we're trying to pursue to help our customers and designers.
For sure. Now, on the other side over here, we have something you were talking about the other day that really intrigued me. That you were talking about it's retro, 70s, 80s, 90s. Right, yeah. Tell me a little bit about that line.
Yeah, this year as Imola, we decided to launch 4 new wall tiles. Imola actually has been famous over the years for the kind of colors that could reach with ceramic, with wall tiles. And this year we focused on different areas of our history, of the Italian history. So we launched 4 new collections, and each of them actually represent a different Italian era. Icona from the 60s takes inspiration from the typical colors that you could find in residential apartments in Italy during the 60s. Then we have Stile, Aroma, Gesso actually for the 80s, Stile for contemporary times, Aroma end of 90s, beginning of 2000s. It's a pretty fun project, especially for designers in terms of colors, but also for us. Going back to our history, seeing what we were actually developing back in the past and redevelop it now in a contemporary, of course, contemporary way. It's been a pretty interesting process.
Yeah, and now in those collections there's like a smooth surface, and then there's a the stripes.
Yeah,
talk about that.
for Icona, we took inspiration from the 60s, right? So during the 60s, Fiat, a famous Italian brand for a manufacturer of cars, launched the Fiat 500, the Fiat 500, which actually, if you look at the back of this car, you can see there are stripes for the radiator, to have air. Therefore, in Icona, we wanted to replicate the same idea. There's a flat finish in 4x8, and then you have a 4x8 finish with two different set of stripes in order to actually recall the Fiat 500. So that's why it's been really fun, honestly, as a project. And it's been really inspirational also for our culture, going back to check at Fiat 500 as such an icon actually for our culture, for the Italian culture.
Awesome. And and in the other series, there was almost like a handmade look.
Yes.
On that one. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Aroma. The goal of Aroma was to create a wall tile at 2.4 per 9.5, so kind of a subway tile, with really colorful, with really fun colors, I would say, and something that, of course, it's an industrialized product, a commercial product, but could actually look like handmade. So if you check the tile, you check the thickness of the tile, the bottom part of it is actually completely perfectly square. So from an installation point of view, you still have the typical advantages of a monocaliber rectified product. But the upper part of the tile is actually wavy, which means that once you look at the tile installed, it will look definitely like an handmade product with a lot of shades within the same color, but it's still really actually a technical product. So from an installer point of view, super easy to install. You can do staggered effect, 2mm joints, great product, really great technical product. But the upper part of the tile is really fun for designers, because the handmade idea is becoming pretty trendy, honestly, and so that's why we pursue that kind of way.
Yeah, I know that oftentimes in this business, I've come across handmade products that just don't fit together quite right. You end up with things that are there's just enough imperfection, or you put two of them side by side and they don't go together well. But these, you won't have that problem.
Definitely. We won't have any problem. Thanks to the fact that, again, it looks like handmade. All the edges are completely wavy, on purpose, of course, but the bottom part of the tile is perfectly square, perfectly perpendicular, which means that you have no issue in putting them side by side.
And in the other room over here, we had something with some very bright colors. Can you tell me about that one?
Endless. Oh yeah, that's a great collection actually from our brand Leonardo. What we talked until now was Imola Ceramica. Leonardo is actually one of our three brands. The third one is La Faenza. Endless is a pretty interesting collection. It's something different, right? You don't see usually in the porcelain world such bright colors as Endless. The collection is composed of black and white granites, both polished and matte, and then we focused on color granites. So yellow, red, blue, green, solid colors combined also with granite color finishes. So you have basically a green granite, a red, yellow, and so on. The technicality behind the collection is unbelievable. It's a full body porcelain tile. All these flakes and all those colors that you see are actually real flakes of porcelain. We didn't use not even one drop of ink of digital decoration on top of that collection. It's completely a technical full body tile with such bright colors. So it's something unusual for the industry, and we're really proud of it.
Yeah, and that is a trend that I'm seeing at this year's show is all of this is all tile. You would think these are actually like slabs of stone, but everything you see here is it's all tile. Now, in one of the collections, I remember you talking about there's like 28 different patterns. Correct. 28 different. Which collection was that?
It was actually this collection. So depending on the color. Each color basically will have, in terms of the slab, so the 48 by 103 will have different faces, different graphics, which means that if you get, for example, the Gris Brèche Dumas, as you can see here, you won't have just one face for the 48 by 103. You have multiple. For example, this one will actually have 7 different faces, which means that 7 different 48 by 103, 14 different 48 by 48, 28 different 24 by 48.
And what that
variation.
Yeah, and what that means is for 99% of the projects out there, you will complete an entire project without using the same pattern over.
Right. You won't have any repetition, especially in the same environment, in the same room. It's almost kind of impossible. For example, if we're using just to cover this room 24 by 48, you won't be able to have 28 different tiles here. You will definitely have less, which means that you have no repetition. And this is actually, we have to make a great applause, shout out to our designers and our marketing department, because this is their creation, and so it's them that they decide how many faces, and even the smallest detail in every face is actually taken care of. So it's congratulations to them, I would say.
Awesome. Luca, is there anything I forgot to ask about?
About our third brand, we also have another brand called Lavalier.
Yes.
Just wanted to mention the fact that Imola Ceramic, as you can see, it's a more general brand. We have wall tiles, we have marbles, we have cements. Leonardo is the technical one. We discussed about endless, we discussed about the technicality of the full body porcelain tile. Lavalier is our third brand, which is actually the most elegant. It's the feminine soul of our company, the most high-end.
Awesome.
Thank you
All right, Luca, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, see you next year.